The Salted Fish Cultivation Road of the Villain Senior Brother Against the Sky. Chapter 1 Dress as a Villain and Live First. In the modern metropolis, Li Zhan accidentally crossed over, and also dressed as the notorious villain brother in a Ziyu Chen novel, Yun Ling. In the original book, Yun Ling Jiao was arrogant, and was finally killed by his junior brother Shen Hanjian with a sword, and died a miserable and desolate death. Li Zhan just crossed over, and the plot in the book was still clearly replayed in his mind. The trajectory of fate is as unbreakable as the railroad tracks unless he does something to change. The villain can't do it, it's a dead end, it's better to eat, drink and have fun, and live happily. Li Zhan was heartbroken, and decided to be a salted fish senior brother, and became the most uncultivated and favorite drinking and pickling girl in the sect. Chapter 2 The Leisurely Daily Life of the Salted Fish Elder Brother. Yun Ling, Li Zhan, wanders around the mountains behind the sect every day, looking for all kinds of spiritual fruits, wines, and rare beasts, and lives a carefree life. Practice? Inexistent. The disciples in the sect all thought that Yun Ling was still ruthless and arrogant, and they were just deliberately pretending to be crazy and stupid. But who knew that the senior brother not only ignored the world, but also helped the junior brothers buy wine and send elixirs, and became an unexpected warm-hearted big brother in everyone's minds. Only Shen Hanjian, the flower of Kaolin who was indifferent and ruthless and cultivated ruthlessly, was always expressionless at Yun Ling's changes, and occasionally snorted coldly, and then turned to leave. Chapter 3 Accidental Binding and Becoming a Taoist Couple. One day, there was a big incident in the sect. The aura ran wild, causing an imbalance in the energy of the cultivation realm, and it actually triggered the ancient enchantment ritual. Li Zhan and Shen Hanjian were forced to become Taoist couples, bound to their souls, and could not be separated. This news was like a thunderbolt, shocking the whole sect. Especially Shen Hanjian, a genius disciple of the ruthless Dao, who is not close to people on weekdays and never moves towards emotions, but is forced to entangle with this former villain elder brother for the rest of his life. Yun Ling, Li Zhan, smiled bitterly secretly. It's good now, the salted fish life is completely over. Chapter 4 Run-in and Collision. After binding the Taoist couple, the two had to live in the same room, and their cultivation influenced each other and their souls were connected. Shen Hanjian's indifference was gradually melted by Li Zhan's liveliness and humor. At first, Shen Hanjian still kept his distance, but when the sect was attacked by foreign enemies, Li Zhan desperately saved Shen Hanjian, which made him look at this salted fish elder brother with admiration. The relationship between the two began to become delicate, not only as brothers in the same sect, but also as a Taoist couple bound by fate. Shen Hanjian's ruthlessness gradually turned into affection, and Li Zhan also changed from a cynical salted fish to a strong man with a mission. Chapter 5 The Sect Crisis and the Truth Exposed. At the same time as the two were running in, the conspiracy within the sect gradually surfaced. It turned out that the real villain in the book was not Yun Ling, but a high-ranking elder who had been hidden for many years, plotting to usurp the position of the head of the family and disrupt the order of the cultivation realm. Li Zhan and Shen Hanjian had to work together to investigate and unravel the mysteries. In the process, the two went through the test of life and death, supported each other, and their relationship became deeper and deeper. Chapter 6 The Decisive Battle that Reverses Fate. In the final battle, Li Zhan used the whimsical ideas he had accumulated in his salted fish life, skillfully used the way of cultivating truth, and combined with Shen Hanjian's ruthless swordsmanship, he successfully defeated the sinister elder. And all this rewrote the tragic ending of Yun Ling's tragic death in the original book. Chapter 7 Reshaping the Future of Deists. After the victory, the sect returned to tranquility, and Li Zhan and Shen Hanjian officially became Taoist couples to jointly protect the peace of the Ziyu Chen realm. The former villain senior brother has become a hero admired by everyone, and Shen Hanjian has also let go of his indifference and become a ruthless Taoist monk with rich emotions. The two of them depend on each other, look at the long road of cultivation with a smile, and move towards a bright future together. Chapter 8, Visions of the Spirit World and Forbidden Inheritance. Although the sect has regained its calm, the aura between heaven and earth is abnormal, and a strange crack has appeared in the depths of the sky, like a torn curtain, appearing and disappearing from time to time. This vision is not extraordinary, and the elders of the sect warn that it is a gateway to the forbidden place of the spiritual realm, and that it is extremely dangerous. Li Zhan and Shen Hanjian, as representatives of the emerging Daoist companions of the sect, naturally shouldered the responsibility of investigating this vision. While the two of them were meditating on their cultivation, they also closely observed the fluctuations of their aura. Once in the dead of night, Li Zhan accidentally felt a mysterious call in the cultivation room, which drove him to open an ancient book that had been sealed for many years, the Secret Book of the Spirit World. This book records the path to the depths of the spirit world and the inheritance of the forbidden ones within. The two decide to work together to find out the secrets of the rift. Chapter 9, Trials in the Forbidden Land. After stepping into the rift in the spirit world, they were greeted by a deep black mist and a strange aura. Restrictions are so strict here, and any wrong step can lead to unimaginable doom. They encountered a strange spirit beast, the phantom flame wolf, and Li Zhan saved the day with his wit and Shen Hanjian's superb swordsmanship. Then, he encountered the trial of the inner demon realm. Li Zhan's inner demon is the fear of pursuing freedom all his life but being bound by fate, while Shen Hanjian's inner demon is the loneliness and helplessness of long-term closed emotions. The two supported each other, and finally overcame the inner shadow, and each other's souls were more compatible. Chapter 10, Taboo Confession Awakening. After passing the trial, they found an ancient altar in the depths of the spirit realm, which sealed an existence known as the Spirit Emperor. This great emperor was once the supreme powerhouse of the early opening era of heaven and earth, and mastered the laws of the supreme spiritual realm. His power far surpassed that of the living monks, but he was sealed for disobeying the mandate of heaven. Li Zhan and Shen Hanjian accidentally triggered the seal on the altar, and the power of the spirit domain emperor was slowly injected into the two of them, giving them an unprecedented improvement in cultivation, but at the same time, it also brought a soul burden and an unresolved crisis. Chapter 11 The Dark Tide of Conspiracy Returns. The power of the Spirit Emperor attracted even more powerful enemies. The sect elder of the defeated sect, the Dark Heavenly Sect, sent a chasing team to try to regain the power of the Spirit Domain Emperor. Li Zhan and Shen Hanjian faced the dark tide surging, and there was also a split within the sect, and some disciples began to suspect their motives, and even some traitors secretly rebelled. The two not only had to deal with external enemies, but also had to resolve internal crises, and the sect fell into an unprecedented crisis. Chapter 12, The Choice of the Netherworld. In order to protect the sect, Li Zhan and Shen Hanjian decided to enter the netherworld illusion left behind by the Spirit Emperor to seek a breakthrough. This is a forbidden place created by the consciousness of the Great Emperor, and the flow of time is abnormal, and a few days may only pass in the outside world. The illusion is full of unknowns and challenges, and the two encounter the danger of soul splitting in the illusion. The power of the Spirit Emperor tries to devour their souls and transform them into pieces of themselves. In a desperate situation, Li Zhan suddenly found that his former salted fish nature was actually the key to fighting against the spiritual erosion of the Spirit Emperor, and he suppressed the demons with humor and ease, and led Shen Hanjian to break the illusion together. Chapter 13, The Awakening of Power and the Blossoming of the Other Shore. After breaking through the illusion realm, Li Zhan and Shen Hanjian obtained the true power essence of the Spirit Domain Emperor, and their cultivation was greatly improved. What's more, their souls truly merge and become the legendary Dao companion on the other side who can control the two worlds of Yin and Yang. The rebellion within the sect was quickly quelled, and the invasion of the Dark Heavenly Sect was easily resolved. The two returned to the sect hand in hand and became veritable guardian saints of the sect. Chapter 14, The Choice Between Light and Darkness. With great power comes great responsibility. Li Zhan and Shen Hanjian were faced with a choice, whether to make the power of the Spirit Domain Emperor public to the world for the benefit of the cultivation realm, or to seal the power so as not to incur even greater disasters. After a long discussion, the two decided to use the sect as the foundation to create a new path of cultivation, combining the ruthless Dao and the yin and yang laws of the Spirit Emperor to create the other Shore Dao, which not only protects the world, but also protects the most precious freedom and emotions in their hearts. Chapter 15, The Legend of the Future. The story doesn't end there. Li Zhan and Shen Hanjian stood on the highest peak of the sect, overlooking the changes in the entire cultivation realm. They know that the road to truth is long and the challenges are endless. But as long as they rely on each other, even if the sky falls, they can tide over the difficulties together. From a villain brother who was destined to die by a sword by fate, to an invincible Taoist companion on the other side, Li Zhan proved with his actions that fate can be reversed, life can be rewritten, and even if the starting point is a tragedy, he can walk out of his own glorious chapter. Chapter 16, The Cultivation Realm Rises Again. After the establishment of the other side of the road, the prestige of the sect increased greatly, attracting many people with lofty ideals to defect, but at the same time, it also attracted the covetousness of powerful enemies. The many forces in the cultivation realm are ready to move, and a larger-scale power struggle is quietly unfolding. Li Zhan and Shen Hanjian did not slack off because of this. They actively contacted the major sects to discuss the strategy of peace in the cultivation realm, and strengthened the internal construction of the other side of the Dao to cultivate a new generation of disciples. However, the dark forces lurking behind the scenes finally reveal their true colors. An ancient enemy who was once a contemporary of the Spirit Emperor, the Nether Master, awakens and threatens again. Chapter 17, The Nether Master's Challenge. The Nether Sect Master has the incredible power to control necromancy and dark spells, and he intends to seize the power of the Dao on the other side and restore the order of the entire cultivation realm. Li Zhan and Shen Hanjian led their disciples to fight the Netherworld Sect Master in a decisive battle. This battle spread to the heavens and the earth, and the aura shook like a raging storm. In the end, with the excellent cooperation of tacit understanding, the two combined the ruthless Dao and the law of yin and yang, sealed the Netherworld Sect Master and guarded the balance of the cultivation realm. Chapter 18, The Prosperity of the Other Side. After the Nether Sect Master was sealed, the cultivation realm ushered in unprecedented peace and prosperity. The other side of the road has become a top sect admired by all parties, and the disciples are not only strong in martial arts, but also cultivate their minds and pursue both internal and external cultivation. Li Zhan and Shen Hanjian built a quiet Taoist cave mansion in the sect and lived a simple but happy life. They often walk hand in hand in the mountains and forests, overlooking the sunset, leisurely. Chapter 19 Returning to the native place, Regenerating Old Dreams. Years later, Li Zhan occasionally recalled his life before the time travel, as well as the confusion and struggle when he first entered the cultivation realm. He was full of emotion, but he had no regrets. Shen Hanjian silently guarded him, and the two had already surpassed the brotherhood and become indispensable partners in each other's lives. They decided to write the story of their experience into a classic, so that future generations can understand that although fate is uncontrollable, mentality and choice are the key to truly rewriting the future. Chapter 20, A Bright Future. The story of the other side of the road has become a legend in the cultivation world, and the names of Li Zhan and Shen Hanjian are also known as the twin heroes against the sky by later generations, symbolizing the unyielding vitality and sincere emotions in adversity. Their story tells the world that even a destined villain can live a glorious legend of his own through courage and wisdom. The two looked at each other and smiled, facing the rising sun, and embarked on a new path of cultivation. Heaven and earth are full of infinite possibilities and hopes. Postscript. The eldest brother of the tragic villain, to finally reversing his fate and becoming the patron saint of the cultivation realm, Li Zhan, Yunling, broke all the shackles of prejudice and fate with his own actions. His story is a microcosm of everyone who finds light in the face of adversity. No matter how many challenges you encounter, as long as you have hope and dare to change, you will eventually be able to create your own miracle. And Chen Hanjian's transformation also tells us that ruthlessness is not the same as heartlessness, and there is also gentleness and firmness behind indifference. The encounter and bond between the two is the most beautiful miracle in the cultivation world.